It is mailbag time here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. In a moment, we got plenty of questions to get to, and I'm going to tell you the scary truth about the Kansas City Chiefs and one player in particular. We'll explain more coming up in just a matter of moments. Before we do that, folks, I want to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, but not just that, but you also have your notifications turned on. Those are the folks that we call the Noti Gang. They're the first to know when we have new content here, whether it's a live show, a watch party, breaking news. Maybe you want to be a part of our next mailbag segment. Subscribe now, turn on notifications, lock us in for the latest happenings on your favorite team each and every day here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Best part about it, 100% free. Subscribe now, hit that Noti bell, spam Noti Gang if you're part of the Noti Gang, and we'll get started with today's show. Mike writes in, "Hi, Tyler." Hi. If things go the way we hope and the Chiefs do three-peat, does that cement Patrick Mahomes as the GOAT? So my GOAT is Tom Brady. And what I have said for a long time, comparing the two quarterbacks, is that Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time and that Patrick Mahomes is the most talented quarterback of all time. And here's what's going to be hard for Patrick to overcome, no matter how many Super Bowls he wins, is that late in Tom Brady's career and early in Mahomes' career, Brady beat Mahomes not once, but twice, including an AFC Championship and a Super Bowl. And until Mahomes gets close to Brady's 7 rings, I don't think it's a discussion. If he's closing in there, then we can have that discussion down the line. But Brady is still the greatest. I love Patrick. I really do. He's the most talented I've ever seen. But Brady won the 7. And he did it with 2 different teams. He did it in 3 different eras. It's going to be hard to take that away from him. But, Mike, it's a very good question. Zez writes in, which Chiefs player that was injured / not playing during the Bills' loss would be the most impactful in the AFC Championship game? I think it's Jaylen Watson. Jaylen Watson, I think, is the guy to keep an eye on. I expect his snap count to be close to 100%, that he will get up there. He was at about 59% this past week. I think that makes a big difference in this Kansas City Chiefs team. Having Jaylen Watson there, we saw how much there was a drop-off for this Chiefs team without Jaylen Watson being a part of the equation in the second half of the year. We saw just a week ago the difference between this team with Johnson as opposed to Watson out there. I think Watson's the difference maker. And, at the time of this recording, the line had the Chiefs favored by 1 or 1.5. I think Jaylen Watson out there could be a 2 or 3 point difference. He's that impactful. I feel really good about the Chiefs' chances with Jaylen Watson at full speed. I think he's a difference. Shad writes in with a $2 super chat. Predict the next 3 players in the KC Ring of Honor. This is a very good question. And I was thinking about that Alex Smith ought to be in there. I love Alex. And you think about this with Alex Smith, too. Not only did he have a good run, but building that foundation, building the culture for the Kansas City Chiefs that set up the stage for Patrick Mahomes to take it from there. I think he deserves a lot of credit for that transition and what he did for Patrick Mahomes early in his career to set up the Chiefs for success. I think Eric Berry is another good choice. Eric Berry was fantastic. What an incredible story, beating cancer, coming back. I love Berry. He's still one of my all-time favorite Chiefs. I think, Tabahale would be another one. Actually, he did get in this past year in 2014. I think Poe would be a potential one. He hasn't gotten in there yet. I'll throw you a curveball. What about Sammy Watkins? Think about those early Chiefs Super Bowl teams and what Sammy did. Sammy, I know he wasn't healthy a lot in the regular season, but he made some big-time catches in the postseason, was a difference maker. I think it's hard to imagine the Chiefs winning some of those Super Bowls early on without Sammy Watkins. I think Sammy's deserving. Those are some players that come to mind there. Big Red Cheeseburgers. All right, Sin. Who is a Chiefs defensive player you think will make an impact in the AFC Championship game? I got to tell you, watch out for George Karlaftis. Watch out, folks. 3 sacks last week against the Houston Texans. He was fantastic at the playoffs last year. We've seen the Chiefs' pass rush really just come to life here in recent weeks to finish up the regular season. I think George Karlaftis is the guy to keep an eye on. And with the Chiefs getting healthy on the defensive line, with getting guys like Charles Omenihu back, in addition to having Karlaftis there and having Chris Jones. Heck, we even saw King Felix get in on the action last week. That really limits what teams can do when it comes to trying to double team guys like Chris Jones and George Karlaftis. I think there's a big opportunity. I expect Karlaftis to step up. I believe that George Karlaftis, folks, is the scary truth. Let's just call him that. Let's call him that. His new nickname now, the scary truth. Do you believe in the scary truth, George Karlaftis? Will he have a big game against the Bills? Type B for believe, D for don't. Chime in the comments section below. Today's show is sponsored by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. You choose 2 more players on any given category. Get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking fantasy points in football, rebounds in basketball, goals in hockey, all sorts of different categories to choose from. The big game is almost here, and it's now or never. Don't miss out on the last football game of the season with Prize Picks, the best place to win cash while watching the big game. Prize Picks is also giving away a free pick for the big game, where one of the starting quarterbacks will only need to throw 1 yard to win. If you're correct on at least one more stat projection, you can win cash. Prize Picks got a couple of great deals right now. You can win up to 1,000 times your money. If you play $5, you'll get $50 to play for free. PrizePicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. This week on Prize Picks, go with Xavier Worthy. He is worthy. They have more than 3.5 rushing yards. I think Andy's going to get him in on the action there. I got Josh Allen to have more than 1.5 passing touchdowns. I think it's going to be quite the game from Allen and Mahomes both. Play along with me, PrizePicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Prize Picks, run your game. Zez writes in with a $2 super chat. Who's more impactful, the pass rush or the secondary? Very good question. I think it's the pass rush. And one example I would point to, go back to the first Super Bowl the Chiefs won when they beat the San Francisco 49ers. Secondary wasn't that great, corner position in particular. But they made up for it with the pass rush and their ability to get after the quarterback. Now you look fast forward to 2024 through 2025, and we got some questions about that CB2 spot. You know, how healthy is Jaylen Watson and all that. We've seen the safety position be good for the most part, but there have been some letdowns here and there. But I feel pretty confident the pass rush is going to make up for the lapses that we see in the secondary. And it's going to be crucial for the pass rush to get after Josh Allen all day long. So it's kind of your first line of defense, and then the secondary does everything else after that. I think starting with the pass rush is a little more important than the secondary, but they're both very impactful there. Swifties writing in. What's your number one key to victory for a Chiefs win versus the Bills? I think it's playing mistake-free. There's not a lot of room for error. The Bills are playing a similar style to the Kansas City Chiefs right now, where they're not just torching you. They are being very effective. They're not turning the football over a whole lot either. I think that is going to be the key to watch, is who is going to blink first. And to me, that's what's got my attention. Play mistake-free. If you do that, you're in a very good shape. Before we go, who do you got? You going with the Chiefs or you going with the Bills? Type KC for Chiefs. Type Buff for Buffalo. Get your predictions in now. Let us know. Final question. Terry Singleton writes in. You think D-Hop will be more involved this Sunday? I hope. I hope that's the case. Whether it's him, whether it's Marquise Brown, somebody in that receiving core. Hell, if it's Juju, that's fine with me. Somebody needs to step up in that receiving core. I would say that D-Hop's probably the most likely, but that remains to be seen. Appreciate y'all joining us here on the Kansas City Chiefs Report. For continuing Chiefs coverage, subscribe now. We'll see you on Sunday for Chiefs and Bills live right here on the channel.